Welcome back to Barnes to Big Leagues. This week on episode 3, we're going to talk about the commitment and pushback on the work ethic side of things away from the barn.
Yeah, welcome back, guys. Last week we were here talking about hitting in the minor leagues and our thoughts and opinions on it. I mean, I'm still guilty of scrolling through TikTok and seeing the minor league videos pop up and hitting that button on a great hit. But can you blame me?
So, Jesse, tell me a little bit about what it looks like at your house away from the hockey rink. Is the commitment there for the work that needs to be put in to become a better player at the rink?
I mean, so let's start with the household part. My household is a very busy household within hockey. I got my stepson who's in house league, and I got my son who's in rep hockey. Okay, and we've set the expectations for them on their commitment level. You know, we make the sacrifice of paying for this, and we all know minor hockey ain't cheap. Okay, so yeah, we expect chores being done around the house and discipline. You know, in rep hockey, you're expected to maintain good fitness, right? So coming home from school and playing Fortnite all night, that ain't gonna fly, right? Or eating 3 bags of chips, drinking pop, it doesn't work. We got to maintain some health and fitness, you know, get outside, play, keep active, good sleep schedule, and good discipline also. I mean, homework, if you're not going to keep up with the grades, then why should we keep you in hockey?
I think I agree, and I think that's a great time to bring in the lessons that are being taught by coaches, by parents to these young athletes. I don't really see them as lessons that are going to make them better hockey players, better gymnasts, better baseball players, as much as I see it as, a lesson that could be applied as you go through life. It's going to benefit you in multiple areas.
Yeah, I mean, growing up in minor hockey, there's so many lessons to be learned on and off the ice. I mean, first of all, we're learning teamwork, getting along as a team. You're building great friendships that could last for that season, or they could turn into forever friendships that lead on, right? And then the off ice stuff like your commitment, your discipline, and how much do you want it? As a coach, as a parent, you can sit there and motivate and tell your kid everything, but they have to have that dog in them. They got to want it, right? I can sit there and nag you, do this, do that, but do you want it? Because if you don't want it, then what are we doing here? I mean, it's playing hockey for fun. I get that and everything. But when I have kids saying, I want to be this, I want to be this, I want to be that, that's great to have those dreams. And I'll never shatter those dreams. But where does that discipline and where does that commitment start?
For me personally, my kids are a lot younger than your kids, you know that, but it starts for us in simple day to day activities. Just following a commitment. If you commit to something, if you say you're going to do something, then let's make sure we follow through with it, even if it is, something as little as, tomorrow I'm not going to have any sugar at breakfast. Let's stay true to that word. And then,
Yeah.
maybe the next day we can introduce at lunchtime, we're going to stay true to the next step of the plan. It doesn't have to be introduced 10 steps all at once. It doesn't have to be overwhelming. It can be a built to success story.
Yeah. And I find a big thing with kids too is procrastination. They always tell me what I want to hear. I am going to go for that run. I am going to go do this. And then I keep reminding, gentle reminders. Hey, man, remember, so you're going to go for that run? Maybe you're going to do this. Yeah. I'll get to it. I'll get to it. But I mean, that's what sets apart like athletes. And I'm not talking just hockey, right? Like you played many other sports. Like you have to have that discipline. And if you want it, you're going to work for it. But if you're going to sit around, you know, not work for it, then it's on you. We as parents and coaches can motivate you as much as you want and say all the right things, but at the end of the day, it comes down to the player, the athlete.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, what's the worst thing that could happen, Jesse? Could become a glorified beer league hockey player like yourself.
I mean, not all heroes wear capes, right? Like I'm still a beer league hero, you know, sniping G's, stallion with the boys, but it is what it is.
I like it. I love it. never take the fun out of the game, keep it alive till the very end. I think this is a great time, Jesse. Maybe we've been talking about bringing some NHL discussion into our show. So why not? Let's dive right into it right now. Um,
Let's go.
the, the things we just talked about, the off ice commitments, the work ethic. Do you think any of the guys in the NHL got there without following all of those things from the time they were probably a lot younger than your kids are right
Absolutely not. I mean, unless you're like beyond skilled than McDavid and it's just a walk in the park for you. I mean, McDavid is, it is walking the park for him, but he's put in that work, right? And he's wanted it since, I don't know, we've seen videos surface on YouTube, TikTok. That kid worked so hard for how long, right? And that's what separates the players. And that's what I mean. You can be there for the fun. There's nothing wrong with that. Everything's great for hockey. Have fun, have the memories, the friendships. But yeah, if you want it, you're gonna stay disciplined. You're gonna work. And those kids, when they get drafted, you see, like you look at those guys, and they're pretty fit, man. Like they stay true, and they keep true to the little things too. And I think me and you were having a conversation off camera about this, where it's still practicing the little things, right? Like practice your stick handling. Yeah, they know they're good at stick handling. And I think you brought up Patty King. You're talking Patty King, right? Look at the hands on that guy. He doesn't go to the ring and say, I don't need to practice stick handling, but he does. And I bet you he does every practice.
Yeah, for me, in my experiences at collegiate sports levels and on a national level playing baseball, I really feel like the players that are still succeeding and executing at a very high level are still doing the rudimental things every day. Um,
Keeping it simple.
I wholeheartedly agree with you. Now, we've already talked a few moments in the podcast about it, but we are Toronto Maple Leafs fans. So why don't we dive into that little goal Willie Nylander snipes in overtime the other night? Possibly candidate for early goal of the year if I'm not going crazy here, but
Oh my God. Was that absolutely disgusting or not? Like, first of all, let's start at the beginning of the play. Tavares has three guys, and it's 3-on-3 overtime. Has all three guys drawn to him in the corner, and he's battling and fighting. And Tavares is getting older, but he still's got that dog in him, right? Kicks it out to Morgan Riley. Nylander coming off the bench. St. Louis player comes out of the corner. Puck goes to Nylander, and those hands. Oh my God, that was disgusting. Like I couldn't believe it. I think my whole house was sleeping, and I think I woke the whole house up when I saw that goal. I was in
I would
shock.
I would say so too. I mean, I don't think shock is the word for me. I've been a Nylander believer long before most Maple Leafs fans are believers of Nylander now. The one thing as a Leafs fan that drives me absolutely batty every day is the Leafs very clearly have a couple problems. One of them being injuries at the moment. If they could get everybody
Oh yeah.
healthy, that would probably go a long way. But for the love of the hockey gods, why is William Nylander not playing on the first line? The guy is a first line winger on any team in the National Hockey League, not just Toronto. So put him on the first line.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. And I just want to apologize about my dogs. They don't have the discipline of an athlete. We're working on it. But
We're working on it.
with the Nylander thing, I know what you're saying, but it is depth, right? We're not going to put all our top dogs on the first line, and then we're making our depth more shallow. Like then we're running thin on our bottom six, our second line, and stuff. So it is important because you want all four lines. I would say maybe your first three lines to be scoring threats, and then your fourth line is your grinding line. But like I think to have the threat on every single line, as long as the chemistry is there, I think that's what's important. And I mean, like, yeah, we could put Nyes, Matthews, and Nylander all in the first line, but how does that leave realistically our second line, right? Where we're going to talk about Cowan, who rookie, and he's still adjusting to the movement to the NHL, and then we got Robertson, who's hot and cold, and we don't really know where that stands with him right now, right? It's like
I mean,
it's hard what to do.
Call me crazy. Call me crazy. But is a second line of John Tavares, Calle Yarncrook, and Max Domi not an acceptable second line in the NHL?
Oh, I'd absolutely call you crazy until I watched the game last night, and I believe that was the line, and they looked good. Calle Yarncroke was skating unbelievable. Robertson, sometimes I was like, who is that? No, that's Robertson. I couldn't believe the way he was skating. And even Domi, he had some wicked looks at the net there, and they were looking good. But like I said, I mean, with the depth that we have now and the injuries, I think it's important to keep our scoring threats a little bit more spread out and not put all our eggs all in one basket and just try and have our top line loading on.
So at what point in time is the panic button? We need some top six scoring help.
Fuck, I wish I had a button right now. Because watching this season is a complete disaster. Yeah, hit that button, Chief. Um, Something's got to change. I mean, for me right now, I like our defense on paper, but they're not executing. And I do like the goaltending on paper of last season's numbers, but something's not right now. And how to fix that? I mean, I haven't been hired as an NHL GM yet, so I don't have all the answers, but um, something's got to change. I think a big splash in the trade market needs to happen. Something needs to shake up. I wouldn't go as far as saying coaching change ups yet. I still like Berube. I still like his style. So I want to ride that out. But yes, something needs to change. And I think the panic button's being like tapped on a lot right now.
I mean, you touched quickly there. You don't think the defense is playing very well. I would wholeheartedly agree with you. But I think there is some defensive depth there that hasn't been there in a couple of years. So maybe the right answer is taking one of those defensemen. It probably would mean we're shipping a player to a contender because I don't think anyone other than a contender who needs defensive help is going to give a top six forward in return for that. But listen, if we don't inject some sort of help for Austin Matthews to
Oh
start
yeah,
scoring goals, the season is going to be well behind them before they can even get going here. I mean, it's
yeah.
already going, and we're digging a hole. The last thing we need to be is the St. Louis Blues, last place at Christmas time, coming back to win a Stanley Cup. Super great story. Probably going to make a great movie one day, thanks to Jordan Binghamton. However, let's not
Didn't
do that.
Berube didn't Berube coach that team?
Yes, sir.
Whoa, maybe there's a
Whoa.
little foreshadowing there, eh?
Hey, call it the force, call it foreshadowing, call it
Yeah,
absolutely insane. But hey, maybe you're onto something.
yeah.
But I
I
mean,
don't know.
let's talk about it here real quick. Austin Matthews, for all you Toronto sports fans out there, Austin Matthews is not Sidney Crosby. Austin Matthews is not Connor McDavid. Austin Matthews is not even Nathan McKinnon. And there's probably a few other names on that list. Austin Matthews is Steven Stamkos, and he is Alexander Ovechkin. All of those guys have one thing in common. When they were in the prime of their career scoring goals, their coach or their management never took their playmaker away from them.
Yeah,
None of them.
very true. No, you're very right. Never even thought of it that way. I like that.
So when I say inject Nylander onto the first line, it has nothing to do with anything other than the fact that you have to ignite Austin Matthews. And there is no one else on the Leafs roster capable of doing that.
So, did the Leafs make a mistake by letting Marner walk?
I'm not saying that. I think that's for potential future conversation. I think it's
Yeah,
potentially a very great conversation. Um,
yeah.
no, I think letting Marner go was the right decision.
Yeah.
Um, I just think everything hasn't been ironed out the way it needs to be ironed out yet.
So, if you want to put Nylander on that top line, I wouldn't be opposed to that. But what I think needs to happen to make that happen is there needs to be a trade for another top six winger to replace him on the second line. Because I don't think we have that player.
I wholeheartedly agree with you. I also don't think Matt Nyes needs to be a staple. Like him and Matthews belong together. They don't separate. Like I
I
think
love
it's
guys.
adequately acceptable for Matt Nyes to go down to the second line, play with, say, Yarncroc and Tavares, or like you just suggested, go get another top six forward, put him on the wing, put Nylander with Matthews, and then that third wing or third player on the line doesn't have to be of the caliber of player we're talking about right now.
But what kind of player do you replace that with then? Do because we have Matthews, the sniper,
Yeah.
Nylander. I mean, arguably could be a sniper and a playmaker. So
Is
who?
something
What kind of
it
player do we fill in on that third spot?
I mean, is something wrong with Scott Lawton?
He's a good depth center, no?
Is there a reason Scott Lawton can't play first line wing in the NHL?
I don't know, dude. That's a bold move.
Sure.
I mean, you could try it out. I give it one game, maybe one period max. That's a bold move.
I think bold is possibly what is needing to happen in Toronto. We're not privileged as sports fans and as podcasters and all those things. We're not privileged to the conversations inside locker rooms, so we don't really know the ins and outs of how those
Yeah,
dynamics work. But yeah, try it for a period. What's the worst thing that happens? It doesn't work. And go back to what's not working right now.
fair
Congratulations.
enough. I mean, I like to think that, like, yeah, the season's been disappointing as all hell so far, and it's been so frustrating to watch. We still are early in the season where it can turn around. Like this point spread between like in the standings isn't there yet. But if something isn't done like yesterday, we're going to be in deep shit.
I agree. I agree. Well, Jesse, I think that was a great little combo. Touched on a few important topics to kind of wrap up our minor hockey convo for now. Kind of
Yeah, yeah,
touch on the NHL a little bit, and I think for everyone who's listening right now, moving forward, I think there's some super awesome, more impactful and emotional conversations, debates, different views of opinions coming up in the very near future.
yeah, 100%.
100%. All right, everybody. Well, thanks for tuning in, guys. We always appreciate it. As always, if you can give us a like, give us a share, we appreciate it. The bigger we can be and the more lives we can touch, we feel like we're going to be able to make a bigger impact on everyone. So, again, thanks, everybody.
All right, thanks, guys.